5-band GMC features. GM disabled at the factory, and unlocking them takes 30 seconds. Number 1 is a hidden tailgate lock on every Denali that GM never trained dealers to mention. Unlock number 5. The hidden developer mode in your infotainment. Your GMC's infotainment system has a secret menu, not a setting buried in a submenu. An entire developer-level interface that GM uses during testing and engineering validation, and then hides from the owners who actually bought the truck. Here's how to find it on most GMC trucks running the MyLink or newer Android-based infotainment system. Go to Settings, scroll to About. Find the entry labeled Build Number. Tap it rapidly, 7 times in a row. A notification pops up at the bottom of the screen. You are now a developer. That's it. The hidden menu is now unlocked in your settings. On older MyLink systems, the access method is different. Press and hold the power button, the home button, and the menu button simultaneously. Release after 3 to 5 seconds. The developer menu appears. What's actually in there? Several things that make real, measurable differences in daily use. Animation speed. The factory default is set to a half-second transition between screens. You can drop it to a quarter second, or turn animations off entirely. The result is a dramatically snappier infotainment experience. Menus open instantly. Apps launch faster. That sluggish half-second delay every time you tap something, gone. Individual speaker testing. The developer menu lets you isolate each speaker in the truck and send audio to one at a time. Perfect for diagnosing a suspected speaker failure without pulling door panels and checking wiring. The technician at the dealer charges $95 an hour for this exact diagnostic. Screen resolution and app memory management. On trucks where the infotainment feels laggy or occasionally freezes, these settings let you clear app caches manually and optimize resource allocation. Problems that would otherwise require a dealer software update or an intermittent try rebooting response from the service department. None of this is dangerous. Nothing here modifies engine parameters, emission systems, or safety-critical functions. Every change is reversible. You can turn developer mode off by repeating the same tap sequence. GM hides this menu because it was built for their engineers, not because accessing it risks anything in your truck. 30 seconds to unlock a performance tier of your infotainment that GM uses internally and hides from owners. 0 cost, 0 risk, 0 dealer involvement required. But that's just software. The next unlock involves hardware GM physically disabled, even though the equipment is already installed on your truck. Unlock number 4. Side cameras active while driving. This applies specifically to GMC HD trucks, the 2500 and 3500 series, equipped with the 360-degree camera package. If your truck has this package, you already have cameras mounted on both side mirrors that display a clear view down the length of the truck on either side, except they don't. Not while you're actually driving. GM programmed those side cameras to shut off automatically above 8 miles per hour, unless a trailer is plugged into the 7-pin connector. That's the factory limit. Drive over walking speed without a trailer and the cameras deactivate. The feature you paid for as part of a premium package becomes unavailable exactly when you need it. The reason GM gives is liability. Distracted driving concerns. The legal department decided that active side cameras above 8 miles per hour create a risk they don't want on their record. So they disabled a feature the hardware fully supports. The unlock is a button combination on the steering wheel, varies slightly by model year, but generally involves holding a specific combination of info and settings buttons simultaneously for 3 to 5 seconds while the camera view is active on the infotainment display. The exact sequence is documented in enthusiast forums and tutorial videos for each specific year and trim combination. Once activated, the side cameras remain functional at any speed with or without a trailer connected. Why would you want this? Real-world use cases. Towing a wide load on a narrow 2-lane road where you need to confirm exact clearance to the shoulder. Maneuvering through a construction zone with cones inches from your fender. Parallel parking a full-size truck in a tight urban space, driving in snow where lane markings are obscured and you need visual confirmation of your distance to the curb. In every one of those situations, the side cameras are genuinely useful. And the factory cutoff at 8 miles per hour makes them useless. The hardware is identical before and after the unlock. Same cameras, same processors, same display. The only difference is a software flag that tells the system whether or not to display the feed above a certain speed threshold, a premium feature you already paid for, disabled by a software flag that takes seconds to bypass. GM's liability concerns don't match the reality of how owners actually use these cameras on HD trucks in real working conditions. The next unlock is in the menu system, not hidden, just deliberately buried deep enough that most owners never find it. Unlock number 3, custom remote start with full climate profiles. Most GMC owners use remote start exactly one way. Press the start button on the key fob twice. The truck starts. Basic climate control activates, heat or air conditioning depending on what was on when you parked. 10 minutes of runtime. Done. That's the default behavior. It's also the most minimal version of what remote start can actually do on your truck. Navigate to Settings, Vehicle, Remote Lock, Unlock, Start. In that submenu, there's a configuration section that GM does not advertise and the dealer rarely mentions during delivery. You can preset heated seats to activate automatically on remote start. Driver and passenger. You can preset the heated steering wheel. You can set an exact target cabin temperature instead of letting the climate control default to whatever mode was running when you last shut off. You can configure rear defrost to engage automatically. You can set the HVAC fan speed. Every climate-related variable that you'd normally adjust manually after getting into a cold truck. All of it can be programmed to activate the instant remote start engages. And the runtime, GM defaults remote start to 10 minutes. That's short for a winter morning where you're actually trying to warm the cabin and clear the windshield. A second press of the remote start button immediately after the first activation extends the runtime to 20 minutes. 2 presses in sequence, 20 minutes instead of 10. That's it. The My GMC app extends remote functionality beyond the key fob. But here's the detail GM doesn't emphasize. The app's advanced features require an active remote access plan, or unlimited access subscription. After the initial complimentary period, 3 months on most newer trucks, those app features become a paid subscription. Here's the workaround. Every configuration option in the infotainment system's remote lock, unlock, start menu remains functional forever, with no subscription required. You lose the phone-based remote functionality when the subscription lapses. You do not lose the key fob remote start with all its configured climate presets. The full remote start capability your truck actually has is 2 menu levels below where most owners ever look. 10 minutes of configuration time once, and every remote start for the life of the truck arrives with heated seats on, steering wheel warm, cabin at your exact temperature, and windows already defrosting. Now, the next unlock is the one where GM most aggressively hides functionality that's already physically built into your truck. And it's the one that saves you the most money. If you're unlocking features you didn't know you had, hit subscribe and like this video. Helps more GMC owners find these unlocks. 2 more to go. Unlock number 2. Off switches that are already wired but disabled. If you own a GMC HD, 2500 or 3500 built from 2015 forward, and your truck didn't come with the factory auxiliary switch package, the dealer will tell you that adding AUX switches requires the 9L7 option code from the factory. That option, if ordered new, added roughly $800 to the build price. On a used truck without that option, the dealer explains that retrofitting is complicated and expensive. The dealer is either misinformed or lying by omission, because the wiring is already there. GM's own internal documentation confirms this. Upfitter Bulletin 115FL, A document GM publishes for fleet and commercial customers who build out work trucks specifies exactly which wires are live under the dash of every HD GMC truck, regardless of whether the 9L7 option was checked on the order sheet. The IOX switch power feeds, the ground lines, the circuit protection. All of it is installed at the factory on every HD truck. The only thing missing is the switch panel itself and the physical connection between the pre-wired harness and whatever accessory you want to power. Owners have verified this across forums and build threads. Pull the lower dash panel. Locate the X7 junction block. Every AOX switch circuit is there, live, grounded, and ready to activate. GM built the harness for every truck because it's cheaper to manufacture one universal wiring loom than to maintain two separate production lines. The switch panel itself, part number 84347-199, which superseded the older 23145-163, installs into the factory-prepared location above the infotainment display. It fits diesel trucks with transmission cooler, exhaust brake, and cargo light circuits pre-labeled. Cost of the switch panel alone runs $150 to $300, depending on source. With the switch panel installed and the existing wiring connected, you now have 5 to 6 aux switches controlling accessories of your choice. Light bars, winches, compressors, auxiliary lighting, bed accessories. Every one of those switches is factory grade, properly fused, ignition controlled, and warranty compliant because the wiring itself was installed by GM. The dealer's $800 retrofit estimate, or the claim that it can't be retrofitted at all, collapses the moment you look at Upfitter Bulletin 115F and verify the live circuits with a multimeter. Basic electrical knowledge. A multimeter, a switch panel, a Saturday afternoon, 5 functional aux switches. GM wires every HD truck for aux switches and then charges you either $800 for the factory option or hundreds in dealer labor to retrofit something that's already installed. Upfitter Bulletin 115F proves the wiring is live. A $300 switch panel finishes the job. And now, number 1. The hidden functions GM, built into one of the most marketed features on the entire GMC lineup, and then almost nobody knows how to access. Unlock number 1, the Multi-Pro Tailgate's hidden functions. The Multi-Pro Tailgate launched on the 2019 GMC Denali. GM marketed it heavily. 6 official modes, segment-first innovation, the tailgate that does everything. And every Denali owner who has one knows the basic modes. Primary gate with load stop, full width step, inner gate with load stop, inner gate only, easy access mode. 6 configurations, all accessed through buttons on the tailgate itself or on the key fob. What GM didn't train the sales staff to tell you, what owners discover months or years into ownership by accident, is that the Multi-Pro Tailgate has additional hidden functions that weren't prominently featured in any of the marketing materials. And the most useful one is a dedicated lock. Hold the top button on your key fob, the button you'd normally tap once to lock the truck, for 3 to 5 seconds. Not a quick press, a sustained hold. The taillights blink twice. The Multi-Pro Tailgate is now locked independently of the main vehicle lock state. You can leave the truck unlocked for someone retrieving something from the cab while the tailgate itself remains secured. Repeat the same hold to unlock it. This matters in real-world scenarios that GM never emphasized. Parking at a job site where co-workers need cab access, but you have tools in the bed. Loading valuable equipment and walking away from the truck briefly without wanting to lock the entire vehicle. Any situation where the cab and the bed need different security states. Beyond the lock function, there are button combinations that access hybrid positions between the 6 marketed modes. Owners in Denali forums have documented sequences that activate the cab step mode in conjunction with the load stop step. Effectively a stepped loading platform that GM shows in engineering renderings, but doesn't actively market as a configuration option. The hardware supports it. The firmware supports it. And then there's the cargo bed lighting system. Most Denali owners use this feature exactly once, when the salesperson demonstrates it during delivery. And then, forget it exists. The cargo bed lights include LED spotlights mounted in the side mirrors that illuminate the bed when the truck is in park. The activation button is on the overhead console near the dome light controls. In actual use, those mirror-mounted LEDs are dramatically more useful for loading and unloading in a dark driveway than the interior bed lights most owners default to. The MultiPro tailgate itself is mechanically impressive. GM invested millions of dollars in development and marketed it as a differentiator. And then they trained the sales staff to demonstrate 6 modes out of what's actually a more capable system. The most marketed feature on the GMC Denali has functionality GM didn't fully train dealers to demonstrate. A 3-second button hold locks the tailgate independently of the truck. Mirror-mounted LED spotlights illuminate the bed. Hidden mode combinations extend the 6 marketed configurations. 5 unlocks, all legal, all already installed on your truck. Developer mode in the infotainment. 7 taps and your screens get faster. Side cameras active at any speed. A button combination on the steering wheel. Full climate profiles on remote start. 2 menu levels below where owners look. OS switches on HD trucks, already wired from the factory, confirmed by GM's own upfitter bulletin. And the hidden MultiPro tailgate lock. 3 seconds on the key fob to secure your bed independently of the cab. Remember the opening. Go watch our video on 5 banned GMC upgrades dealers don't want you knowing, and the one on how smart mechanics are bypassing GMC dealers. Both build directly on what you just unlocked. See you in the next one.